Hey YouTube, Sackers the Five here, and I'm here to answer some common questions asked by leopard gecko owners about leopard geckos. I have to do this pretty fast, so let's start. What are the ideal temperatures for a leopard gecko? I'd say 80 to 95. How often should I dust my gecko with calcium on food items? 2 times a week. What should I feed my leopard gecko? Waxworms, mealworms, and crickets. Butterworms, I've heard people doing that. Pinkies occasionally, like when it's an adult, and once a month. How many hides will a leopard gecko need? I suggest 2 for 1, but increase the hides, like 1 hide for each leopard gecko you have, if they're all living together. What are the lighting requirements for a leopard gecko? Just regular heating lamps. I suggest Flukers, it works great. I have one, it works great. No UV, and no night bulbs or those red bulbs or anything. I've heard of leopard geckos being attracted, but I wouldn't risk it. What is wrong with feeding a leopard gecko too many waxworms? Waxworms don't have the same amount of nutrients as mealworms do, so it's like candy to them, and mealworms are like veggies. What gender is my leopard gecko? I don't know, I can't see it. If it has 2 bulges, then it's a male with a V. If it's female, it's got nothing. How long do leopard geckos live? 20 plus if proper care. Like R. Crocker or Rocker or something on YouTube. He has a leopard gecko living 25 years. There's a video about it, so why don't you watch that. How big does my leopard gecko tank have to be? 10 gallons for every leopard gecko. Can I keep more than 1 leopard gecko in a vivarium? Yes, but increase the gallons as you go. So 10 gallons for 1 leopard gecko, so 2, 20, 3, 30. Is it true that mealworms will burrow through a leopard gecko's stomach? No, I have heard stories though, but I don't believe in it because I feed my leopard geckos mealworms. I haven't had a problem with it. I don't know anyone who has, but some people on YouTube or other places say yeah. I have heard superworms doing that though, so watch out for that. Don't feed your geckos superworms. My leopard gecko fell. What should I do? Well, I have a very skittish leopard gecko. He likes to jump. He likes to run. He's not a pick-me-up kind of person, but I know a friend of mine who has a pick-me-up person. That's 07 Blackout. Watch his videos on Sackers5, so watch mine and see him. But he doesn't. He's very jumpy, so he falls pretty much all the time after he does it. That's why I kind of have him over my bed, so he doesn't really hurt himself. But he has fallen on the carpet. And if it's falling on wood, if it looks fine, then he's fine. So just put him back. What morph is my leopard gecko? I don't know. I'm not there. Is it possible to overfeed a leopard gecko? Yes. If you go to reptileguy.com, they has a leopard gecko named Fatty, and the thing is big. I also have a leopard gecko in Maryland living with my other mom, and they feed it way too much. They feed like 8 to 10 crickets every day. So I'm like, holy crap, stop feeding it. It's huge. The thing is like, oh my gosh, it's like giant, bigger than a giant leopard gecko. So I'm trying to convince them to feed it every other day. I think they are. How does a leopard gecko get parasites? Releasing it into the wild, and if you catch crickets, they could have some kind of parasite on them. So watch out for that. Don't do that. Buy crickets. $1.25 a dozen or $1.50. Do leopard geckos bite? Yes. If they are uncomfortable or you're pinching them or hurting them in any way, like any other animal, they will bite. It doesn't hurt though, to me. How old before my leopard gecko is sexually mature? Females need to be 45 ounces and or older, or they weigh more. Males, anything a little over a juvenile. How can I tell if my leopard gecko is shedding? All the skin color. The skin color of it goes pale and white. How old before I can... Why do leopard geckos eat their shed skin? To not waste any calcium and to make sure no predators are attracted to the smell or something. How old before I can sex my leopard gecko? Juvenile age. Why does my leopard gecko wag its tail in the air? To attract predators to the tail instead of the head. What should I do in the event of my leopard gecko dropping his tail? Dab it with some oil from the vet. Go to the vet. It's pretty costly, $100 I've heard. So dabbing with oil and feeding it some kind of food, like some kind of calcium that helps it grow back. Hold on. How long does it take for a leopard gecko to produce and lay eggs? 10 to 35 days. That's what I've heard. And then, where am I? How long is a leopard gecko? How long is breeding season for a leopard gecko? 8 months. How many eggs do leopard geckos lay? Usually 2, but I've heard of 1 being laid, and 3. Not over 3 though. I haven't. Does a leopard gecko need to mate after each clutch? A female leopard gecko can store sperm for up to 2 years, so one successful mating is usually enough to secure her fertility for the entire season. How long does it take eggs to hatch? Yeah, hatch. Sorry, thought that said hitch. How long does it take eggs to hatch? 55 days for 85 degrees, 45 days for 88 degrees. What incubation temperature will produce what gender? 78 to 80 for a female, 85 for both, for 50% chance of both, and 80 to 90 degrees for males. Yeah, sorry, blacked out. Males. That's all the common questions that are asked. Hope you guys listened and hope it's beneficial for you guys. Thanks for watching.